Hi there, Cancer. Thank you for joining me for your monthly forecast for October. You're known as the most protective of all the zodiac signs. For people that you really care about, the moon's rulership of your sign can make you very intuitive to any discomfort they're feeling, and you want to kind of envelop them in your warmth and protection. However, as this month begins, there is a complex planetary setup which comes to the ball on the 5th on the back of the new moon. This suggests that if you've been doing a lot of looking out for somebody, you might find yourself feeling really quite throttled by this. It might almost seem overwhelming if their needs are always coming first and there's not necessarily a great deal of feedback or thanks for you. And this may see you want to break free, create some kind of space or liberty from the pressure of this situation. If you're a long-term carer, this could obviously be something that gives you a clue that you might need some respite, because a few days away from this can then give you the enthusiasm to go back to what you're doing. If this is more related to a friend who's been going through a tough time and you're not really wanting to sort of let them down, you just need to be honest. Uranus is asking you to be frank, as is Pluto, about how you feel. Don't hold back, otherwise all the energy can build up inside of you in not really a very positive way. Now there is going to be also a connection between Mercury and Saturn. Now Saturn's in the part of your horoscope concerned with joys, and as I've said before, the 5th house and Saturn is not really a joyful mix, but what it can do is give us the determination to work very hard to make the most of our talent and flair. But in the 2.5-year transit that Saturn goes through, and it's a year through that now, we really have to roll our sleeves up. So something that you're inspired about, in terms of your thinking, may come up against some kind of challenge. Now you can either take it on, or you can avoid it, or you can decide to quit and move on to something else. But this could also be the need to have a heart-to-heart in a love relationship. So perhaps in that situation too, too much is falling on you, or perhaps a partner feels too much is falling on them in terms of the domestic load. Some kind of rebalancing is going to be needed. Now Venus moves on the 8th, Venus being the planet of love and affection. It moves out of the most delicious part of your scope into a more practical one, and it's asking you, if there are tricky people you need to deal with at work, do try to be as diplomatic as possible. In your love situation, it's asking you to be a bit more earthy about how you view things. There is, however, a change on the 15th. Mars, the power planet, does move into a much better area for you, an area which is to do with articulating your ideas. And it can also see you wanting to be physically active in the following 6 weeks. But there is a proviso, because for 9 days, Mars is going to be opposed by Neptune. This is not going to be a good window to get into any kind of falling out with somebody over a point of view, because you know, both of you might actually misunderstand where the other person is coming from. It's not that you may intentionally set out to mislead one another, but Neptune, when it's around, and especially in terms of Mars, can be a very deceptive influence. If you're single and you get chatting to someone new, I would be cautious to begin with, however much they might seem to be the bee's knees. Now Pluto in your sector of relating does end a backward journey of 5.5 months, mid-month, but it is going to be squaring Uranus for the rest of the month. This points towards politics, particularly in a professional situation, and it's going to be important to try to curb any impatience that you might feel at times. But Mercury then starts to twist backwards on the 21st, again, still in that sector of expression. So when it comes to ideas, it comes to setting up dates, there could be quite a choppy period that we're all going to go through, but in your case, I do feel it is going to relate to the expression of yourself. And it's just the case that whatever we do, Mercury can throw at difficulties. So if you're travelling, you're hoping to meet somebody, things can be fairly fluid. If you put something in your diary, expect that it may get changed at the last minute. It may even be you who's the protagonist in this regard. But the Sun moves, and it moves on the 23rd, and this is actually going to really bolster you. It's going to give you more energy, you're going to feel more outgoing, you're going to feel bubblier. So even if a few things do go awry, or there are tensions linked with your work, do give yourself permission to go out and have some fun. It really can be good for your heart and good for your soul. And as the month comes to a close, the Sun forges a gorgeous link with Pluto, and this could be very significant if you get talking to someone new, Mercury retrograde or not. If you click, it could be clicking for a very long time indeed. Thank you for joining me. Good luck and goodbye for now.